What's up, peoples?
What's up, peoples?
It is Thursday. It's been several Thursdays since we've actually sat down here and had a conversation. Um, so, welcome to Thursday, this edition of Thursday Night Convo. Well, they say you got to be consistent with these things, right? So that you can up your viewership and that kind of thing. And we gotta get consistent, right? So, let's share this. Um, the one person who's watching right now, go ahead and if you would share it as well. If you would share it as well, so we can get some folk in this conversation.
Why are
What?
you laughing?
Because I'm just nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm just nothing. Don't worry about it.
How was your week, everybody? I hope everyone's having a good week. Look, it's December now. Can you believe it? The end of the year. Um, Christmas is around the corner. Christmas is going to look very different this year.
It is. It is.
But, you know, it is what it is.
And thank you. Someone said hello. We missed you guys, but understand. Thank you for understanding. It's nice to be missed. Uh, hey, it's. I'm not gonna make any excuses, right? We're not gonna make any excuses.
About what?
Just about just the time that we haven't been on, but
Oh, there's none to make.
life just kind of does some things to you
Just
sometimes.
been busy.
Hmm.
Been busy. I've been sick, so.
Right. My wife has been sick for a little while. She's starting to feel better,
Hmm.
so that is phenomenal that she's starting to feel better. Yo, family, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. We the settings are not allowing for sharing. Oh, so Elizan, you might be watching in the group maybe or the Denali page. That could be why. I'll probably have to look into that. What are you sharing from YouTube?
No, I was going to share from Denali. No?
Is it letting you? Oh, it looks like it is letting you. Yeah, Elizan might be in the group, and maybe you can't share from the group because you have to be a part of the you have to be a part of the group, I guess, to share. So,
Yes, you can't share if it's a private group. You can't share it.
and I'm that's an assumption I'm making, Elizan. So I don't know for certain.
I mean, but
Um,
that would make sense. If it's a
yeah,
private group, you can't share it with everyone.
yeah, that would probably be why. So, um, speaking of that, I know I go live in on the Denali page and in the group and on YouTube. At some point, I'm trying to shift all of that to YouTube.
It's cold.
Um, we're trying to grow our number of subscriptions on YouTube. We're trying to grow our number of hours on YouTube because once you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours, you're able to begin to monetize
Money, money, money,
your YouTube
money.
channel. So we want to do that. So give me 1 second. Let me share because I've been asking people to share. You should not ask people to do something that you do not
So,
do yourself.
I have a question for you guys. Put it in the comments. Do you guys Christmas shop? And if you do, are you done yet? Have you started? Are you going to this year? This year is different on every single level. So I'm just curious if you're going to still do that or not. Just curious.
Yeah, Christmas is gonna be different this year. Well,
Yeah.
can I be honest? I'll be honest. This it's typically family on these Thursday night combos, right? So I'll be honest. It's family. I'm not the biggest Christmas person.
He's not.
Um, there is a reason for that, which I'm not sure. I not I don't want to get into, but I don't know that it stems from a childhood experience is why I'm not that big of a Christmas fan. However, I always told myself growing up that I envisioned what this kind of storybook Christmas would look like in my mind. What would a storybook Christmas look like in my head? And I've always envisioned creating that. Have I done that?
I don't know what your storybook is.
That means I haven't done it.
No, it doesn't
No,
mean
I'm just playing.
that.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But I mean, I have something in my head, and I even told her yesterday. We were listening to this song from not the Frank Sinatra one, but it was like a Frank Sinatra type song, and I was just saying, letting her know what that music does and how it makes me feel, and what I envision the picture is in my head around Christmas, and so hopefully that will be something that we experience at some point. But anyway, here we go. Thursday night convo is a conversation about all things relationships. Doesn't matter what the topic. Sometimes we don't even know what the topic is until we turn the camera on. We do that so that we can show individuals that, hey, you can have conversations about anything. As husband and wife, you should be able to have conversations about anything. Doesn't have to turn into an argument. Doesn't have to be crazy. You can be a team when you walk away. I want to start out with this because this is big and we're excited. And if you've been following us, you already saw, but I'm going to show you anyway. January 30th. Something big is happening on January 30th. Have a conversation, marriage forum, Between the Sheets. We are talking about all things sex in relationships. Listen, if you have not registered, you need to register tonight. Get your spot. There are a certain number of spots. I'm not going to say how many they are, but there are a certain number of spots, and we want to fill them all. It's free. I should have put everybody's face big so you could see, but the lineup, we got Jeff and Siobhan Ladonis. Jeff and Siobhan Ladonis wrote a book called Number 4. If you haven't picked that book up, go to their website, jeffandsiobhan.com. Grab that book. Julie Siebert, Intimacy and Marriage. She is a no-holds-barred speaker, blogger, podcaster. What are you about to say?
She's amazing.
Yeah. Like, she gives it to you straight up. The tips, the tools, stuff that you can implement this evening.
Yeah, she's good.
She's good. She's good. We got Shannon and Shirley Austin from Marriage Inc. Again, another real couple.
Yeah.
They're going to bring it to you straight. They have a story to tell.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. Restoration, reconciliation. They've been through it. They've come out of it. And they're sharing their story. Dr. Jessica McLeese, sex therapist, Christian sex therapist. We're going to talk to her, debunk some myths about sex therapy, and get some great advice. And then we have Sheila Ray Gregor. If you're not following her, Love, Honor, and Vacuum. She is
she's great.
Yeah. She's got one of the books that she's known for is 31. Is it a Girl's Guide?
I don't remember.
I think she does a Girl's Guide to Great Sex, and then she does a 31 Days to Great Sex. 2 great books. Speaker, author. We're going to have a good time with this thing, man. We're going to have a good time with this. So if you have not gotten your spot for that, we want to make sure that you get your spot.
Yeah.
Someone said about Christmas, not yet. As much as I enjoy the season, Christmas shopping, it's stressful.
In many ways, especially these days.
It is.
It can be,
It
yeah.
can be.
It can be. You know, I determined not too long ago, because it used to be for me too. I love Christmas, not for the whole gift giving or anything like that. I love it for what it represents, obviously, number one. But I also love it because of just the atmosphere and the whole just family togetherness. I just love all of that. I love that. I just love all of that. And so, but I determined recently, not too long ago, recent Christmases, that, you know, I'm not going to stress over this. It's not, if you have told your children, told your family, told your loved ones, you know, the gift giving is not the real meaning of Christmas, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
That's true.
It is stressful, I understand, you know, can I afford to get the right gifts? Do I get the right gift for my spouse? What does he or she want? You know, I want to make sure that I get what they'll enjoy, blah, blah, blah. But, it's just really not all about that. So I try not to get hung up on that because it is stressful and it's not supposed to be.
You're right. You're right. It's not supposed to be. I wasn't going to do this, but I think I will. Let me just read this comment too. I don't shop much. I try to give what a person needs, and it's different for everyone. Christmas has gotten too commercialized and
Yep.
less about family. I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm going to put this out there to you guys. Right. We're going to give you the opportunity to. Is there anything you've ever wanted to ask Denise and Oliver that you've never asked? Something you wonder? Just we're going to answer those questions for a little while tonight.
Okay.
But while you think of those questions and put them in the comments, I'm going to tell you. At first I was like I'm not going to go into why I'm not that big of a Christmas guy, but I'll go into it, right? As a kid,
before you say what it is, I'm sure you're not the only one.
yes. And the reason when you talked about gifts and really kind of instilling in your kids the fact that it's not about that. I agree with that 100%.
But
Here's the but. And I didn't want to use the word but because that negates the fact that I said I agree. But what's
flip
difficult?
side.
What's difficult about that is you can instill that in your kids, but when everything else around them
I absolutely 100%
is
agree.
gifts and this is what I'm getting, and I think it's even worse now because the gifts are more expensive now.
Yeah.
With the Jordans and we had our expensive gifts back then too. The coats and
Yeah, it was
different
all
things.
relative.
It's all relative. So here's my reason. This is stuck with me, right? So my parents were not real big on that kind of stuff. Growing up, there was a year or two that we had a Christmas tree and that kind of thing, but they weren't big on that kind of stuff. They were kind of what you said. Hey, it's not about the gifts. It's about, and it's not, they were almost to the point where it's not even about Jesus, but if we're going to go anywhere, we're going to go down the road of, Jesus' birth than we
Yeah.
are getting you these pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. But the thing that I dreaded, we would get out for Christmas vacation. And I would dread those 2 weeks. We used to get 2 weeks back then,
Yeah,
right? Two
yeah.
whole weeks for Christmas vacation.
Yeah.
I would dread January 4th.
Going back to school.
Oh my goodness. I cannot be, just thinking about it, I'm kind of like tingling a little bit.
Aw.
Just the anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you knew what the conversation was going to be.
Yeah.
What did you get? Oh man, I got the new whatever, or I got the Atari 2600, or I got the new pair, I got the Shellhead Adidas, or I got the whatever it was, right? And I would always have to. I kind of had this gift. I developed this gift where I could either play up or play down something, right? So I always had to practice my ability to play down. Oh man, that ain't I ain't really my thing. You know what I mean? I get sneakers all the time, and this, I told my parents, I was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm good. About it. I got good at that, and so I could kind of push the conversation off me, and they could quickly go to the next person, and so that they could brag about what they got, and that just. I was like, I don't like this holiday.
Yeah.
Because I don't like having to prepare for that as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
And a teenager. So I just from that, I just haven't been that big on it. But the flip side, like I said in the beginning, is that it made me have this picture in my mind of what I thought a great Christmas would be. And I was like, okay, I would like to do that for my family, because I don't want them to have to experience that.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to go overboard. I mean, I can't even afford to go. I can't afford to get to the board. Let's go over it. But, you know what I mean? But, I mean, I was going to try to do my best so that they wouldn't have to conjure up those, those reasons and those things, right? So that's my whole thing. But I married someone who is extremely festive. And I'm cool with that.
Am I extremely festive?
Compared to me, yes.
Well,
Maybe not compared to someone who's extremely festive,
Yeah.
but compared to me, who is not
festive
who is
at
very
all.
close to not being festive. You are extremely festive to me, and so
I will say though, over the years, I can see your uh I don't want to say growth because I can see your transition. Like when we first got married, you were like, "Oh, hate this. I hate this holiday, blah blah blah." But you've come around a lot. Like this
yeah, this
year,
year, yeah,
oh my
that's true.
gosh, this year you
This
were
year,
like,
I'm doing stuff.
I said, we don't need to get a tree. When our grandson comes over, it's his first Christmas. He's crawling now. He's probably going to pull it down anyway. Let's not get a tree this year. And you were like, oh, well, we got to get a tree. If we're going to put lights up on the stair banisters, we have to get a tree. And I was like, okay.
That was out of character for your boy.
It certainly
That was-
was. So I see the transition in you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate it. So that's my Christmas story. That's the thing that kind of keeps me, or has kept me, I should say, from really kind of, I don't know. It's interesting, man, and it speaks to how certain things that you go through really
Yeah.
kind of grip your mentality.
Yes.
Have a grip on your mentality as it relates to how you process things moving forward. And that was traumatic for me.
Yeah, it's a trigger.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The holiday is a trigger for you.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was traumatic because every time,
Oh.
literally on the last day of school before Christmas vacation, I had mixed emotions. One side of the coin, I'm like, whoo, no more class for 2 weeks. And then the second side of the coin is, I got to come back.
Yeah.
So I'm spending the whole holiday trying to enjoy my time off, but at the same time,
Dreading
trying to craft,
having to go back.
right, trying to craft my either downplay or upplay, whatever it is. So if something happened, like say for example, if we went to New York, because I have family in New York, so if it's just so happened that we drove to New York one weekend, I could be like, oh, well, I ain't really want anything, you know what I'm saying? I really want to go spend some time with my uncle in New York, and he took us here and there and da-da-da-da-da. And so that's really what I wanted for Christmas. So my parents hooked us up, took us to New York, da-da-da. So it sounds big, right? I could play it up or play it down if I had to. So, and I just was tired of that. So that's my Christmas story. So let's get to we only got one question so far. So we're going to get to this first question. For those of you who are watching, what we're going to do for a few minutes is allow you to ask any question that you may have always wanted to ask Denise and Oliver. And we'll answer those questions. It does not matter what it is. I think you who have been with us know by now that we are an open book, probably to a fault.
So how was the idea of Denali birth?
How was the idea of Denali birthed? You want to do that?
Sure. So we obviously it's the first three letters of both of our names, Denise, Oliver, Denali. But we sometimes every now and then we would post a little something maybe on Facebook, or we'd make a comment to one of our friends like, man, Ollie did XYZ, or man, I really messed up and did XYZ, or whatever it was, something like to that effect. And people would always say to us, we love your marriage. We love your ministry. You guys are so great. You're such a great example. We love your ministry. And me in particular, I'd be like, this ain't no ministry. This is just us. Ain't no ministry over here. And, people would just keep saying that and keep saying that and keep saying that to us. And one day you had said, maybe we should start writing a blog, just start blogging every now and then about our experiences, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how it started. At first, we were just blogging.
Yep.
And then from there.
And then it mushroomed from there. So when we started the blog was called Marriage is Our Ministry. Mm-hmm. And so that was the website, marriageisOurministry.com. And so we were literally just blogging, and that's all we had in mind. That started in about 2013, around about, and then in 2015, somebody asked us to speak. Mm-hmm. And we're like, really? So we do the speaking engagement, and then it kind of clicks, man. God has a little bit more for us as it relates to this than just us writing a blog every so often. And Fast forward, it's kind of turned into what it is today. How we got from Marriage is Our Ministry to Denali is I sat down with a renowned psychologist. He is the chief learning officer for the corporation that I work for, and got the privilege to sit down with him. And he allowed me to show him what I felt like God was having us build. And he posed a question to me. He said, "So who is your target? If your target is strictly faith-based individuals, then you're on the right track." But I was talking to him about doing some corporate training and communication skills and doing some different things. And he said, "That's fine if that you want to merge those two things, but it may be difficult for people to book you because you have the word ministry in your name." So it's just something to think about. I'm not saying you have to change it, but I'm just saying if you're trying to be all encompassing at some point in your journey, you should probably think about that. And so we had a discussion and decided, yeah, let's go ahead and change it. Now Denali, the Denoli, we had always had that because back when we first got married, one of our favorite vehicles was the Yukon Denali truck, the Yukon truck with the Denali package. So we said, okay, we're going to get that truck one day and we're going to change the spelling of Denali on the side and we're going to make it custom Denoli. So when we're looking at a name to change, we already had the emblem piece. Shout out to Rob Wells who did that for us. But it said Marriage is Our Ministry. So we took that emblem and we're like, it only makes sense for it to be Denali, and then that's what birthed, what we have as far as the name. So that's the story behind that. That's how it was birthed.
Got another question?
What else we got? We got one more question. We got this is for both of you. What traditions from your family or your own bring into your marriage and why? What traditions from your family, I'm assuming, do you bring into your own marriage and why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, traditions from family to family, I guess I could say, is for me like the whole Sunday afternoon thing. When I was younger growing up, my mom would always cook a huge Sunday dinner. And her siblings, my aunts and uncles, would come over and eat and laugh and drink and just have a good old time. Me with my cousins. And so I've kind of incorporated that, not on such a huge scale, but I've kind of incorporated that into our family. Our adult daughters and now our first grandson, they come over most Sundays and, I cook a dinner and we kind of just have like a Sunday family dinner. So that's one thing. That's not necessarily into our marriage per se, but it's from family to family. I don't know that there are any. Well, I grew up in a single parent home, so there was nothing
different
obviously.
dynamic.
Yeah, different dynamic.
I did not grow up in a single parent home. I'm trying to think as far as, I don't know if you would call this a family tradition. I don't know that I bring any particular family traditions from my family into our from my parents' marriage into our marriage. I have learned from my father. My father is. They tell you. Let me preface this. Let me go back. I'm gonna preface this by saying often you hear individuals say that guys marry their mothers, even if they don't really mean to. That's just kind of what they gravitate to, right? So I don't know that I married my mother because I feel like my mother and I have the same communication style. So I'm a shotgun. And if you don't know what that is, you have to kind of stick with us long enough to hear our communication seminar that we do on the types of communication styles there are. My mom is a shotgun and I am a shotgun. And it's just exactly what you think. Some people who say stuff and do things and don't think, or probably should have thought before they do it. However, my father is very quiet, very reserved. I always joke that in all of his life, he's only said 100 words. I feel like I have that as well, though.
Definitely.
The ability to be reserved. Now, my
Definitely.
wife is not a shotgun, but she can be a firecracker. And so what I've gotten from my dad is that my mom will rah, 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 and my dad will just be like,
He don't even shake his head.
and that's it. When she's done, he will go upstairs and go about the rest of his day. Like he's not arguing back with her at all. Like he's
I
not
don't
doing
know.
that at
I
all.
don't know how he doesn't say
He's not
anything.
doing that at all. Like that's not gonna happen. And if he does say something, he's gonna be like, he'll say something like,
Just a very matter of fact.
yeah, just literally like a 4-word sentence. Like that's not what I was saying. That's it. And I think I've picked that up because and in the book that I wrote, Overcoming the Man Laws, I talk about having to take some L's in order for your relationship to win. And the example I give is something similar of me kind of ignoring and not reacting to something that she does so that it won't, cause other things. And so I think I've taken that from my dad. Because
I wouldn't necessarily call that a tradition, though.
it's not a tradition, but it was the first thing I thought about when I read that. That is something that I've adopted from how he deals with
Because that's what you
that
saw.
in his marriage, right?
That's what you
and
observed
and that's
growing
what I
up.
deal in mine as well.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny to me watching them, even to this day. My mom will call me to fuss with me or at me almost about him because he won't give it back to her. So she got to give it back.
She got to get it out.
And because I'm the shotgun, she knows I'll probably say something back to her. So, and I don't know if she subconsciously does that just to have that engagement, but
That's funny.
It's funny. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Dre, my man, Dre. First of all, Dre, thank you we appreciate the support, man. I didn't share that we were part of this anthology project. We are actually co-authors. I don't have a picture of it to show you, but if you go to our page, you can see it. We are co-authors in a book called Money Talks, and it's 24.
I'm laughing at his comment.
Dre, there's 24 couples that are sharing their stories in this book, and we're part of that. And we are doing a pre-launch on the 19th, and so I'll share that for those who want to purchase. It's a $25 VIP ticket. You get the book. We're actually speaking at the event, so you get to see the speakers as well, and there's a couple things you get for that 25. So shout out to Dre. Just made me think that I saw your name pop up, so thank you. So which cheek experiences sudden impact first? It depends, man.
He said don't answer it.
Oh, okay. I won't answer. That's my brother right there. That's my brother Dre. So if you got any more questions, we'll stay on for another 10 minutes or so if you have any more questions. But the question about traditions, right? Just kind of makes me think. I don't know. Are there things that you should be passing down, if you will? Like, are there things that we should be telling the girls and telling Justin, hey, these are the things you should incorporate? Because yours is based on observation. It's something that happened all the time.
Yes.
Mine is as well. It's not something my dad never told me, hey, if your wife is fussing, don't say nothing.
Right.
He never said that to me. It's just something I just picked up. So are there things that we should be saying, hey, do this, don't do that? Wash your clothes every Sunday, whatever.
Well, yeah, but yes and no.
Okay.
I think that a lot of things are observation, and I think that we should be teaching our children as far as, you know, how you treat your spouse and how you treat people and stuff like that. You should make sure you verbally tell them.
Okay.
But as far as traditions like what I shared,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's not necessarily something that you should tell your children that this is what you should do, because it's not for everyone.
Okay.
What if I grew up not liking that? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, if you grew up not liking it, you may tell your kids, "Hey, don't ever do that."
yeah, but that's not fair. It's just a preference.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like things like that are things that they observe and they take it or they don't take it. But I think things that are important, like how you treat someone,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how you carry yourself, and um, just those kinds of things, I think are things that are so important that you have to make sure that
That
you
you should
verbally,
point to those.
yeah, tell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just wondering about that because
And which I think we did do as well.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of both, right? There's observation, like they observe us,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then there's certain times where conversations may lend themselves the opportunity for us to say,
Right.
"Hey,
Right.
X, Y, Z."
Yeah.
Right. All right. I like that. I like that. Any more questions before we wrap this up? If there are no more questions, we we're gonna book in this thing with the thing that we're excited about, right? We want you to be a part of this forum in January. We're excited about this thing, man. We're excited about the speakers. It's going to be good, and I think there's a little delay, right? So some folks, I think what they see is a little bit after what we actually say. So
Okay.
somebody said, I agree. Children take pieces from each side of their family, and sometimes they create their own.
Yeah,
Agreed.
absolutely. Yep.
Agreed. Shout out to Don from New York,
Yeah.
my dude. I agree with that. And I think that's how it should be. And I think it should be coupled with what you said, right? You point out some of the bigger, if you will, or more important elements and say,
Yeah.
hey, pay attention to those.
Yeah.
To those
Some
kinds of
things are preferences and some things really matter. Like some things you just really should make sure that your children know to
Right.
do and know to how to be, how to
Right.
behave, how to carry themselves, how to act, how to treat people. More importantly, you know, be honest and all that type of stuff. Treat people how you want to be treated.
The values. Yeah.
Values.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. For those of you we mentioned earlier, we're going to be shifting. We want to kind of get folks going over to YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. We are building. We're trying to build towards that 1,000 subscriber mark and beyond, and the 4,000 viewing hours and beyond. The goal being, we're going to be honest and upfront with you, the goal being to monetize our YouTube channel. We are trying to monetize our YouTube channel. That will help us to be able to do some things.
Subscribe and then share with your friends and tell them to subscribe as
tell
well.
them to subscribe. Tell them to watch. I did mention the book, Overcoming the Man Laws. It's Christmas time. And yes, there should be some frivolous gifts. I'm all for that. I do think that there should be some gifts that are very intentional as well. So
Yeah.
this is, if you know a man, if you are a man, if I don't even know whatever else I can say. I think those two things cover it all. If
Yeah.
you know a man and if you are a man, this should be in your library. So you can get this on Amazon. You can go to our website as well to grab that. And again, we want to show the forum. If you haven't registered for this forum, do so. It is free. Now, when you look at the lineup, I want you to do some research because I want you to understand what you're getting for free.
Yeah.
Okay, so this forum was supposed to be $97. My wife and I just, I guess it was the Holy Spirit. I'll give him the credit for that. Said that it should be free. But I want you to look these folk up so that you understand the value that you are getting for free. Look
Yeah.
up Jeff and Siobhan. Look up Julie from Intimacy in Marriage. Look up Shannon and Shirley. Look up Dr. McLeese and look up Sheila Ray so that you can understand the value that you will be getting, that we will
Yeah.
be cramming into. And it's not 3 to 5. It's going to be 3 to 5:30 because it's just so much information.
It really should have been more than $97,
It should have been.
honestly.
It should have been. We're cramming a bunch of information, so we added another 30 minutes because the lineup is just that powerful. So make sure that you are in the place. Are you guys sending out books? Are you sending the books out gift wrapped? I hadn't thought about it, but sure. If you purchase the book from my website, if you purchase the book from our website, denali.org/shop, there is a place where you can put in instructions. In the instructions, say that you would like to have it gift wrapped. We'll take care of that. We'll take care of that. If you buy it from Amazon, you're just gonna get it in the Amazon package. So, but that's a good idea. I had never even thought about that. So yeah, I like that idea.
Since
Thank
it's
you.
the holiday season.
Yeah, thank you for suggesting that. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. One more thing. Let me show you one more thing because we got some episodes coming up. I gotta. If you have not subscribed to this podcast, where is it? I know I have it in here. If you have not subscribed to this podcast, if you're not listening to Trade Secrets, first of all, you got about 40-something episodes that you need to catch up on if you're not subscribed. If you are subscribed and you're caught up, these next couple coming up,
they're going to be really good.
And I'll even tell you who they are. We have Nick and Adina Johnson. If you don't know who they are, look them up. Nick and Adina Johnson is the next episode coming up next Friday, a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then it's Christmas, right? So we're breaking for Christmas. Then we come back in January with, no, I said that wrong. Sorry. A week from Friday is Monica Tanner. If you don't know who Monica Tanner is, look up Monica Tanner. Phenomenal. Then we break for Christmas. Then we start the new year off with some fire. We're coming with Nick and Adina Johnson episode. If you don't know who they are, look them up. Then we follow that up 2 weeks later with Paul Bache Williams.
Excellent.
If you don't know that name, look that name up. I'm telling you, some fire episodes are coming. These next 3 are nuts.
And then, I don't know how soon after that, there's going to be, I'm so excited.
Oh, we should have put a graphic up for that tonight.
We can do it next week.
Yeah.
There's going to be a women's series
After
where
that, yep.
I'm going to kick him out and I'm going to be interviewing a bunch of different women. It's going to be, I haven't settled on the name yet, but it's just going to be me and women. We're going to be talking about anything and everything women. We're going to be talking about marriage. We're going to be talking about finances, entrepreneurship, menopause, sex, our married lives, anything and everything that you can think of that women talk about, we're going to be talking about it.
So listen.
It's going to be great.
You got to
subscribe. Look out for the graphics. Look out for the ads about it because we're going to really do that update. It's
you got to subscribe to the podcast. And for those of you who are already subscribed, I would ask you a favor, please. Please rate the podcast.
Yes.
Whatever platform you listen on, if it's Google, if it's Spotify, if it's Apple, if it's Stitcher, whatever it is, please rate that. The rating helps the podcast grow in terms of visibility. So please rate the podcast. If you bought the book already, please go on Amazon and leave a review for Overcoming the Man Laws. We need your support in that way. Somebody said, yes, it's about time. Listen, that ladies series is going to be bananas. So after we hit you with this fire for these couple episodes, that I'm stepping aside, and Trade Secrets is going to be just the woman's well, whatever name she's going to give it. It's going to be that girlfriend edition.
Maybe I should do a contest and have our viewers and listeners help me pick the title for it.
Let's do it. Let's give away some swag. Let's give away some
Yeah,
T-shirts and
let me think about it.
yeah, let's do
Let
some
me think
stuff.
about
Let's
it.
do it. Let's do it. Well, that's it for this Thursday, folks. We appreciate you, family. It's always
Yeah.
good to have you guys hanging out with us. We are this is it's kind of a therapeutic time for us, to be perfectly honest. We get on here and just talk about everything and anything. So we appreciate you guys. We hope that you have a great rest of your Thursday, and that you have a fantastic weekend. Here's something else I didn't plug. Like, it's so many things I didn't put up here to plug today, but let me give you one more thing. One more thing. And if you're not following us, follow us on our social media so that you can see this flyer. I'll post it tonight. We are actually doing a seminar for Ephesus Seventh-day Adventist Church. It will air twice this weekend. It will air tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will air again on Saturday at 3:30, I believe.
Yeah.
But look for the flyer. I will post it right after this. We're talking about the five types of intimacy. There's some things we learned about intimacy. We learned about ourselves during this COVID period, and we're sharing that with everyone. So make sure that you tune in for that. That's going to be tomorrow. It's going to stream live on YouTube and Facebook. You have 2 times to watch, and I'll make sure that I post that. All right? Okay. So listen, guys, have a great one, and we'll be back next Thursday.
Will we, though?
Next Thursday Thursday, yeah, yes. We'll be back next Thursday. That'll be the last one, probably for the year, maybe. Yeah. But we'll be back next Thursday. All right? Peace out.
Good
Peace
night,
and love.
everybody. Be safe.
God bless.